Hey everybody, you listen to the Wombo podcast. I'm Chip. Mug with me as always is the Mr. Gimpy.
Bro, you are silky today. Look at you.
Yeah, dude. A little greased up, dude. Popped
like
off.
Fucking, like, what have you been up to, man? Fucking slopping pigs or what? What's up?
I've been out here greasing the pens, dude. Living my best life. What are you up to over there, dude?
Right, man.
Rolling around in the filth.
Rolling around. I've
in the silver leagues.
I recalibrated my 3D printers, so my week has been doing nothing but making 3D
print out some sort of fan mount.
Yeah. I got a fan
for your
mount
VR
for
headset.
My VR headset, yeah. Because
what the fuck, dude?
The wireless
didn't come with one.
No.
It's been overheating, dude.
This was a known issue with the Vive wireless, where if it gets too hot, it just loses Wi-Fi signal. So
just shuts off.
So let me tell you this. Let me preface this by saying,
all right.
No more rainbows. If anyone has VR, make it a point to buy that game. To VR is akin to Super Mario 64 for the N64. It fucking changed the game, and it's a goddamn masterpiece.
You done changed up the whole fucking game,
dude.
Huh?
It is absolutely perfect. Like,
holy shit! What are you
the
doing?
most,
what is this game? Do you describe? You're like, it's just perfection. Don't worry about it.
It's like it's a platformer, right? Where
you're like, it's just a pleasure
and stuff. The movement is like Gorilla Tag, where you're just kind of moving your arms or whatever, and you're doing this, and your character has giant
hardcore
arms,
parkour.
Right? So you use it to like push off the ground and jump, and your whole thing is you're like this monster from hell, and this cutesy like king is actually evil, and really trying to like take over the world or some shit, and
is it where like the little like angel things have like infiltrated the demon's world and he's like, God, stop him?
It's very similar. It's very similar. What are you describing? Yeah, but yeah, anyway. Kinda, yes. But and as the monster, you're just running around just breaking as much shit as possible, building a rage meter, then you have like this giant explosion. The game is just utter chaos with well-designed platforming levels, which all take skill and just like knowing it's definitely is making me better at spatial awareness within VR.
Damn.
And with time trials and shit, dude, it is so much fun, man. I'm just like. Do
you feel any of these skills have transferred over to real life at all?
Hell no.
Do you feel like John Wick a little bit now? Like when you wake up, you roll out of bed, like just do a barrel roll, tumble out.
Yeah. I don't think I'm gorilla tagging myself out of bed. You know what I mean?
A little bit.
But it's definitely made like quick motions and stuff just like more natural for me in VR because you know as much VR as I do play. Like a lot of it is like kind of like I think Pistol Whip has overtaken Beat Saber and Half-Life Alyx is my most played game. So it's on rails and I absolutely love it. But
I was just telling my buddy about Pistol Whip today because they're talking about how like the surf mode's kind of not in CS:GO 2 right now. So they're like, what are people gonna do? Is that we should make like a surfing style game? I was like, you mean like Pistol Whip? And they're like, what's that? And I was like, let me tell you about Pistol Whip, my friend. Remember Star Fox? And he's like, no.
Yeah.
He's like, what are you, old? And I'm
Pistol
like,
it's a rhythm game, but it's also like an on-rail shooter at the same time. It's fantastic. The music is so good in there too. Highly recommend Pistol Whip. But yeah, man, that's what I've been up to just in VR. I also, like I said, I've been just 3D printing shit. I'm making a larger hitbox controller for a buddy.
Okay. Did you're like, I think last time we talked, because we didn't do last week because I had a birthday.
Yeah. Happy birthday, Chip.
Flipped up for my birthday.
Yeah.
Like that.
And he did.
I teased enough where, dude.
You did.
And I used it.
Yep. You did.
You jelly?
No.
A little bit, dude.
Okay. What were you saying? I was making.
Well, I'm saying you don't have no birthdays where you're dropping F words, dude.
That's true.
Yeah, it's been a while. That's what I was getting to. We're reminiscing, dude. On days when you said you're gonna get Mortal Kombat 1 with that new hitbox hitter.
Oh yeah. I got Mortal Kombat 1. I was like,
did that ever happen?
Storyline was fantastic. Yeah.
Okay. What'd you play? What was your main?
My main so far.
Is it just the original cast, or they got new cats in there? They got remix.
So Sonya is not a playable character. So it's like most of the original cast. There's no Sonya.
Was she in MK1?
Yeah, she's in MK1. She's
there was not a lot of characters, right? There's like 10 characters or something like that. It's like Raiden, Liu Kang.
It's Liu Kang,
Kano,
Raiden, Scorpion,
Sub-Zero,
Kano. Yeah, 5, I guess. Oh, Johnny Cage.
Yeah.
6?
Yeah, Johnny Cage.
I wonder if I'm missing someone.
You might be missing
no, I
one.
think that's it. Yeah.
No, that seems it though. Because I remember there was not like a huge selection of characters,
Reptile,
which is why I liked it.
You could fight.
No, he didn't.
So
he didn't show up till 2 though as a playable.
Yeah.
And there was like, how do I get him? And there's always like, myths and legends.
You uppercut someone when the hawk or whatever flies over the moon in his stage, and then you get him. There's like a shadow that goes across the moon, so you uppercut. Mortal Kombat 1 secret here on the Combo Wombo podcast.
Yeah.
But the storyline was fucking fantastic. They reworked my boy Baraka. Instead of a jobber, he's a fucking hero to his people. He is fantastic. The Reptile, who's been a jobber forever, is also like this fucking
second fiddle, dude.
Stoic figure who's really working for who's doing things for his family and then for the greater good of his people as well.
The greater
like
good.
They made both these characters very very
three-dimensional
heroic
man.
And three-dimensional. Yes.
Or it was just like cool design and that was it. I think it's always like like a little wall of text every once in a while, but it wasn't the best.
Yeah, it's much better, dude. I if you get it, like I know you're not like a big you're not gonna go out and spend $60 on a fighter right now, but if it's on sale or whatever, and you're looking for a good story, like go ahead and pick it up. It's fun. The combat's fun. Yeah. There's an interesting bug with Mortal Kombat 1 where player 1 had an advantage even online, where their shit would come out first, and they'd have always have frame advantage.
Latency.
And shit. But this is like across the entire game. It wasn't even like online shit. It's just so they fixed that. But that was an interesting patch. So I wasn't playing online for until I fixed it because I'm like, that seems sus. But so far, like in Mortal Kombat 11, my main was Kung Lao, and Mortal Kombat X, my main was Johnny Cage. In Mortal Kombat 9, my main was Johnny Cage. In this one, I'm kind of floating between Baraka, like you said, he's my boy right now, and Melina. Melina has not been my main since Mortal Kombat 2. I've always liked her, but just for whatever reason, I always like gotta go towards other characters.
I played a lot of Jax in 11.
Oh, Jax is fun as fuck. Yeah. Jax is a great
like
time.
I don't play competitively. I don't play against other people. Just like story mode. I was like, yeah, this is my dude. I'm gonna play this. Yeah.
Yep. Luke Cage is also a fucking G in this game. It's really fun. So,
showing up.
We'll see who becomes my true main. I'm just enjoying the combo trials. I've completed all of the combo trials with Baraka, so that I was like.
Are you using your arcade stick or
just controller? You could just regular
playing on
Xbox controller.
The PC or the PlayStation or
PC.
The Steam Deck? You using the Steam Deck?
I haven't used it yet.
All right, dude.
I'm
just asking the real questions. Are you like talking about throwing up the hitbox on your lap with the Steam Deck on the porch, dude? Just living on a rocking chair, dude, with a cat and a hat, dude. Eating green eggs and ham, man.
Yeah, so I mean, I'm not. Other things. Hitbox is right here. It's ready.
Yeah, it's ready to go.
Ready. I'm a controller right here. But Mortal Kombat, the NetherRealm does such a good job of designing it for controllers, where for me anyway, it's hard to go to something because it has a block button, right? So when you're doing that, just for whatever reason, my mind when I'm hitting buttons or whatever, just remember to hitting block on a button and not like a trigger or like a Genesis 6 button. It just doesn't work for me, man. I don't know why.
Okay,
yeah, but it's been a good time. It's been a good time overall.
It's been a thing, dude.
Yeah. But the big news that I think we should talk about, man, is two things before we get into Unity.
Unity.
One, you yourself have been playing Counter-Strike 2. Counter-Strike 2 came out the week of Chip's birthday, so we've all been playing it. What are you thinking, man? As someone who doesn't really, I'd say you don't take it as seriously as the rest of the squad. How are you liking it? Dude. What's up?
I don't like how seriously everybody else takes it. It remind me of like Valorant, like when I try to get into a game of Valorant. Okay. I think I've told the story multiple times, but it was like my first game where I get in there and I'm like, hey guys, what's up? And then everyone's like, hey man, I'm like, this is my first time playing Valorant, and like all of a sudden, like everybody in the lobby just left the game. They're like, man, fuck this guy. And it was like, it is what it is. It's during my placement matches. They didn't give a fuck. I was like, you guys are really out. It wasn't even like ranked. I don't think it was just like a regular game. It was like, you guys are really that try hard on like a fucking normal competitive match, like ridiculous.
It is, brother. It is what it is.
So I feel the same way about the CS:GO. I don't know. I try to talk to people. I talked to you a little bit about this, about like, because I see how seriously everyone's taking it. So I was like, oh, why don't we like try and improve then? Maybe we should like get like a coach or somebody. Like they have like, you know, platforms now online where you can hire people for like $30-40 that are like, you know, high level, high elo guys to like maybe look at our game footage, like give us suggestions on what we can improve or focus on. And everyone's like, no, it's a fucking terrible suggestion. I'm like, all right, yeah. And
I did tell you to go F yourself.
Yeah. You dropped it out explicitive, dude.
I did.
You're out there like Exhibit, dude.
I did.
Giving it to him, dude.
I did.
You're like DMX, rest in peace, dude.
Well, here's the thing: you don't play the game that often.
You're
right?
like Eminem, dude.
So that's like going into. That's like going into. Let's use a professional example. Let's say you're learning how to fly a helicopter, right?
Yeah.
Right. Everyone else that around you has been learning how to fly the helicopter, and they're like, let's say, months ahead of you in learning. They're already lifting off. They're already landing. Right. They're already doing it. They already got it themselves. And you come in day one with like someone going, hey, this guy is an expert at flying helicopters. Let's learn from him. We're already on the path, dude.
But that's like me coming in day one, seeing everybody else like taking off and landing, but they also crash like 70% of the time. And I'm like, what if we like had like a professional licensed helicopter instructor show up and like give us some info into this, dude. What if we went to flight school for a little bit?
We've all been in the goddamn trenches the whole time, and you're coming. And
that's what I'm saying. Like you guys can't see it. We
finally get to you. You're fucking clean. You haven't seen fucking battle.
Dude.
You got the biggest smile in the world. You're like, hey guys, I love this war, and we're like, fuck you, Ryan. Fuck you.
Yeah, I'm like, hey man, maybe we can get like a nice commander in here to like help point the troops in the right direction. We could
don't be saving for
start making some front progression here on the forward assault. You guys are like, fuck that, dude. We'll win when we win. This is beyond us. It's the craziest thing, dude. I told one of the boys, and they're like, coach is like a therapist. You don't need to go see one. You know what's wrong with you. And I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about, bro?
I think there's a point where, let's say how serious we're going to take it, right? I think there's a point for self-discovery, and then if we reach a plateau, let's say like we're hard stuck at a rank, and we want to get better, and we're just not figuring it out, then if you want to spend money on it, sure, I guess. But I
don't know. Like for me, like my time is valuable, dude. I'm trying to improve as fast as possible. Like I'm not trying to like bluff around with some punks in bronze and silver, and then like also I'm playing to have fun. I think that's like the main difference. Where like I'm showing up and I'm just like fucking around, having fun, trying to talk to the boys about their day, and they're like, "Bro, what the fuck are you doing?" I'm like, "I'm just hanging out, man, having fun. I'm laying down on I'm on tummy time right now, dude."
A coach, dude. Yeah, already the wrong mindset.
No, because I'm like, all right, if you guys want me to take it serious, let's go serious then, dude. And you guys are like, "Oh, that's too serious, though, bro." Like we're just like trying to yell at each other to. It's like watching a bunch of blind people trying to lead other blind people, dude. It's fucking pathetic.
So I'll tell you this.
It's like watching a bunch of shuffling zombies, dude.
Before kids and all that, in Go, my highest rank was LEM, right?
Yeah. So 20 years ago.
So I look at that as my ceiling, right? I know I can get back to it if I don't devote time to it. And the reason why I stopped at LEM is because, I found out my wife was pregnant at the time, and I was like, I can't be playing CSGO now, so, I took a hiatus. So to knowing where I'm getting, and I'm using Leadify to track myself, and I use LEM as the bar, like my aim, my utility and shit is like right on line with it. We just need like the team synergy now, because the team I'm playing with, obviously with all you guys and stuff, it's new. It's not my normal team from back in the day. So you got to get synergy, you got to get going. So I think that everyone's really hitting their stride now, and we're going up. So I'll tell you what, if I get to the point where I'm like, I really want to hit global, and if I'm hard stuck at it, if you want to pay for a coach to critique, sure.
You don't think it would like help us early on, like just once, like
no.
That's like going to a gym and be like, we'll figure it out. Why meet with the trainer?
We're not in a position to want to learn.
I feel like we're in the best position to improve the fastest, though, because like everybody's so much better than the way we're playing.
No,
I think that's maybe coming from the outside.
This is when you are on. This is when you are on. Everyone's so much better than what you are playing. When we're all gone, when you're not playing and it's everyone else matched up against people with way higher shit and getting wins. So
I mean, they're still struggling to get wins against people my rank, dude. Like,
that's because we have to carry you.
Is it though?
Yes.
I don't know, bro. That seems like coping. You're smoking that copium, bro.
It's not coping at all. Anyway,
yeah,
like I said, LEM is where I was before, so I view that as my ceiling. So I'm sure I could get to it again. It's not like
because I think like when I finished my ranking in the last CS:GO, I was higher than all the rest of the boys, the silver ranking, dude. So there's that.
Okay.
Like if we're just talking like pure ranks, pure skill, pure fucking tenacity, forces of will, dude. The bar's like way higher than where any of these guys are at, and I'm like, hey guys, let me try and help lift you guys up, dude, because I'm like up here fucking flying my helicopter around like Thanos, dude.
Oh man, I hope the other boys just watch this so they can see all the fucking cap you're speaking right now.
No, I'm just speaking pure facts, dude.
All right, let's get into. We're not getting anywhere here. Let's get into the next topic here.
Speaking in circles, bro.
For your birthday, I gifted you CyberPunk Phantom Liberty. Did you get to the Phantom Liberty content at all, or?
Yeah, I just started up from my old save, and I know like a lot of people don't recommend you play that way, but I have like more time in CyberPunk than I do in Counter-Strike, so I was like, man, I'm not fucking replaying this shit. Yeah.
You need a coach?
No, because it's like a solo player game, dude. Like, I have looked at guides and shit to improve. I looked at a couple of guides too when I got this because the new build layout is like completely different. Yeah, dude, I'm not afraid to like go for help, dude.
What happened to self-improvement, man? Maybe that's the difference between us, man. I don't look for help. I want to figure shit out on my own.
Yeah, I'm like, hey, man, like I want to like go around blindly here for the first 20 minutes of this new expansion, or I can spend 5 minutes figuring out like how people are out here min-maxing what the like optimal builds are, and then I'll be like, how do I want to play that best matches my play style, and then go for that, dude.
I need to discover that shit my own and build my own.
Dude. But
yeah, that's difference in approach. But did you get to the
learn from a master, dude? Start doing like the main storyline for the new expansion. It hasn't opened up yet, so like the first like couple hours, like they really just bring you on like a linear track. Which is kind of to be expected, but it's like it feels like kit bash like assets on a very straight path. Like it's not good level design wise, but it's to introduce you to things. It's like a lot of walking and talking and shit.
How far into it are you? Because it's estimated to take 30 hours.
If it just the new content, I'd probably say I'm probably like a quarter of the way done with it. Then if it's just 30.
Okay.
And then like it's really weird, arbitrary like wait times and shit where it's like now wait 2 days in game time to get contacted. And so like I could skip time forward or whatever, but I'm just like fucking around in the city doing other shit. I was looking at like cybernetic enhancements and stuff because they added that stuff in. They changed up the crafting system a little bit. I already spent like a lot of my fortune buying a knife. Like they had like a new knife. I was like, oh, let me buy this.
Sure.
It's already had like millions of credits, eddies. Whatever.
How's the updated AI treating you? Combat wise, does it feel better? Does it
like combat wise
dynamic?
They've just like at my level, everyone just feels like more spongy considering I have like one of the best guns in the game upgraded. It like literally bursts and blows people up into fire, but because like I think everything has to scale, they just kind of burst and sit on fire, and then like I went through like 600 bullets, like going through like the early game content, and then they didn't like give me more rifle ammo through the whole fucking thing. So then I was like using a pistol and a shotgun in my sword by the end of it. And again, like my katana is like one of the best in the game, so I like fly over, jump on top of a fucking spider mech, stabbing the fuck out of it. But I did that too early because they didn't want me to do that yet, so I died off screen. It was just like you dead. Like it came up and I was like, well, I guess I'm supposed to run here. So then I had to run, and then it hit you with like the fucking quick time event where it's like hit F. But because it's a fucking cyberpunk game, that's the whole quick time event every time, and there's a bunch of them. It's like dodge to the left, hit F again. Oh, you have to jump over here, hit F again. Oh, the thing's like over here, now hit F. And I'm like, God damn, this is fucking boring. They're kind of like afraid to like switch it up or like add any confusion to it. At a certain point, it's like, just make it a cinematic scene, dude. Like, if all I'm doing is like, you're just making me hit a button to make sure I'm still awake, that's fucking stupid. So there's that. They also like disable a lot of my skills, which kind of makes sense because they don't know like what level you're going to be at when you get to the new content. But my shit basically, the game, like I've said it before on this podcast, but like by the end of the game, it's like basically a power fantasy. Like there's like a ridiculous curve where it just like shoots up to where you start out as like a street level merc, and by the end of it, you're a superhero. like you're jumping over fucking buildings, you're launching yourself, you're flying through the goddamn air a little bit. But they can't have that because like you can, I don't know, like I said, like the level design wasn't too well thought out, so I think they just assumed you'd probably break their shitty level design because it didn't seem like they spent. It looked like they had like a couple interns like trying to learn the new tools. Which, hey man, look at the history of the studio. I see you smirking over there. They did like half their fucking. Yeah, no, half their studio left when this game launched in like such a broken state. So
3 years ago.
Me saying, yeah, 3 years ago. So it makes sense that like this content was like, you know, some interns were on it, dude, and then like some senior level guys came through and they're like, yeah, this is good enough. We're gonna focus on the real big beats of the story, and like these little like hallways and shit. We'll let the new people figure out some of the tools. But it shows. I know, bro. I can look at him like, man, this is kind of whack. But like the main like, after you get through like all this like linear story to like the main big hub of the world,
Sure.
where you get the mission, like you're like, damn, this shit looks fucking next gen. Like the light reflections, the layout, everything in here is like super nice. Like this was a senior dude, someone in here, our girl, you know, I mean, you know, a general sense dude. Somebody spent some real fucking love and care on this. This was like 70, 80 hours somebody spent modeling this fucking room, dude. Whereas the rest of it, I'm like, man, somebody was not trying to do overtime. Like, this is fucking kind of trash.
Got it. So do you think when you complete the DLC, like so far you said it's a little linear, but you just got to the hub world. Do you think it has the potential to elevate the game as a whole, or do you think you'll enjoy the DLC more than you've enjoyed the OG experience, or is it just kind of like more cyberpunk, so that's a good thing?
It just feels like more cyberpunk, and it definitely feels like it's designed to be integrated into the main story, so I probably should have just started over to play, because it seems like maybe like having this DLC stuff opens up more branching options in the main story, or like side quests and stuff.
Sure.
But because like everything's already like maxed out and all the fucking guys' missions are complete, there's nothing really there for it. So there's not going to be like any like, oh, you could also do this route. They also added like more talking options where like it's like, oh, I see you have like tech stuff. You can do tech stuff. Oh, I see you have like bodybuilder stuff. You can like use strength checks now. You can use corpo checks. You can use like your whatever you picked. Like I think it's like street kid, corpo, or gangster or whatever.
So you would say play a little bit more over to do the DLC to get the full experience.
Yeah,
that's it. Okay.
That's not for me though. I don't want to play this shit again, dude. Like I beat the fuck out of CyberPunk, dude.
All right. Now,
so much so that I don't want to go back. I'm just like, yeah.
Now, the big thing last week that we talked about, or 2 weeks ago, man? Unity fucking over every single indie dev and devs for using it. They have, at the time of this recording, they have stepped back on their monetization per install. They switched some things to be more fair. They have different tiers for it. Big developers, small developers have come out saying it's better. This is what it should have been if they were doing it, and it seems mismanaged as hell. But they have already stepped on our liberties, you know, for
our liberties,
clients.
Dude.
So how do we trust them in the future? Because they could just easily do this again.
Bro. Yeah, they've been pushing the envelope, dude. They've been stepping over the line. They've crossed it multiple times.
Godot, FNA framework, you know, other engines that you can use. Like for me, you know, Game Maker Studio 2, have grown exponentially within the past 2 weeks because people were serious about this, and they were serious about migrating away from Unity.
That's the last time they had some drama, like we talked about it here, and that's when I got Godot. It was like an unfortunate timing. I feel more people probably would have hopped over, but it was when they first unleashed 4 to make the Game Developers Conference, so it was like not a complete long-term support version of it. So like I got in there, I was like, man, I'm missing a bunch of shit because I tried to do a couple of tutorials with it. Because I was like fumbling around blind in there, and it's like, shit, I can't really figure this shit out. And then like the tutorials like had like stuff that weren't in the 4.0 at that point, but all that shit seems in there now because I downloaded it again, not recently, like a couple of months ago. But like every time I've been going to like start a new Unity project, I usually like open up Godot first now a little bit. Because like we've all seen this shit coming for a minute, dude. Like everybody in the Unity community, it's just like, what are you? pick your poison. What are you trying to do? What are you trying to accomplish? And
so you yourself, with a bunch of proof of concepts, a bunch of prototypes, a bunch of small completed works, where you use it as a learning base to further your game development skills. Are you going to stick with Unity in the future because you know it? Because at this point, it's something you're comfortable with. You spent all these hours learning this program. Are you yourself, and be honest with yourself, are you going over to Godot? And
I just lie to myself every day, bro. That's how I get through life, dude.
Okay. And what reason what reason stops you outside of Unity being familiar?
Aside from like the familiarity, like I feel like Godot, it just doesn't quite have exactly the workflow that I enjoy. But also Unity doesn't, but I'm just more used to their fucking nonsense. Like, there's no like perfect engine out there for making stuff except for Unreal. But aside from that, there's no perfect video game engine. Like, they're all just tools, and like they all basically do the same thing. So it just depends on like when you like start scoping out your game, you should figure out like what platforms do you want to release on, and that should like help you solidify like a lot of design decisions early on, like aspect ratio, like is it gonna be like control schemes, right? Because you have to like figure out like your character control, camera layout, all that plays into like effect of like what engine will best suit your needs. And Unity is kind of does all those things really shittily, like, but I know how to use it, so this is why I keep kind of going back there. It also doesn't help that like have like a bunch of like money invested like in their asset store for like 3D models and shit. There's now like a really quick and easy way to like just export that shit, or just like you have to have like all the client and shit already installed to like actually like download the stuff that you bought on there. And I don't know, I've never like read the end user agreements. It might be like RPG Maker where it's like this assets can only be used with RPG Maker or something, but it is what it is. It's mostly just laziness. I still like Godot. I haven't really thought of any new like video game projects that I want to work on too. So that's another thing kind of like holding me back a bit. But seeing all these like, we touched on it like last pod where it's like Unity's biggest strength is its community of developers. And now that they're like pouring out, I think like in a month or two, we're going to see like a lot of more tutorials, a lot more like how to, a lot more beginner friendly, quick start guides for a lot of these things. Online.
Okay. To kind of wrap up, I will say the things that I've seen and that I've thought about that are true questions on this that Unity offers that Godot doesn't. That it's a real question for developers who are doing this knee jerk reaction for a good cause, but we have to admit it is a knee jerk reaction. Network connectivity. Does your game include multiplayer? How does Godot handle networking? Is it a plugin? Is it that? I actually don't know.
They have like a cool, like Unreal style example that somebody made in the community made where you can get that template.
Okay. And then the other thing, porting. Godot doesn't natively support porting to console. Doesn't. And that's a real issue for what you were targeting. So
just like a couple of third-party solutions that they kind of have right now, but like there's not a lot of clarity on it.
Exactly.
There's not a ton of clarity on any of this stuff. That's kind of the bigger problem.
And finally, 3D with Godot seems very new, and this is just from outside looking in, and Godot developers can definitely chime in if they'd like and see their experiences. But to me, the Godot projects that I've personally played that have felt polished and working well and as expected have been 2D. The 3D projects have seemed more of tech demos, and is it the fault of the engine? Is it the fault of the developer? I'm not sure. But it seems more tech demo-y level in the 3D support than it does like you could make a true 3D game with it. Now, I'm speaking from a point of unfamiliarity, so I may be wrong, but that seems to be the other thing, a hiccup with Godot. You Chip, who does 3D game design on your own, would you agree with that, or just kind of final thoughts on
I definitely feel like looking from the outside in, that's what it feels like, but having explored the engine, like it has like all the modern fixings that you would expect from like a 3D engine. But then again, like every time you add like an element, like the barrier to entry to make like a good polished product goes up a notch, right?
Sure.
Because there's like a ton of like really bad stuff that's made in Unity, like
every game development program, there's terrible stuff all around, including tutorials.
But there's like enough stuff where like there's like there's like entire like YouTube channels that's like made in Unity this month, and it's just like VFX like highlight reels.
Yeah.
And like I've seen some of that stuff for Godot now, but again, like it just looks like tech demos. It doesn't look like fully fleshed out games. But they exist out there. They're not, they don't have like those like banger apps yet where people can point to and be like, this is it, man. This is fuck everything else. Like we don't need these big players anymore. It's like, I'm not sure if it's like a team size thing or if it's just like a tenacity focus of will.
They just had both FNA and Godot had a giant influx of cash that just came in this past couple of weeks. So I think you're right. Within the next few months, we will see the results of that. So fingers crossed. I'm still gonna say this until the end of the year. Fuck Unity. Fuck the CEO. That's all it is. That's the stance. That's my stance. I don't want to put words in your mouth. But that's the stance of this podcast. So.
Unity's greasier than my hair, dude. They're definitely gonna fucking do more sleazy shit in the future.
Silky, not greasy. What the fuck?
I don't know, dude. I'm just adding it in there, dude. At the end, dude.
Let's
tag up, dude.
Throwing a shot.
They're silky smooth, dude. They're gonna fucking rub your wallets clean, dude.
On that note, I'm Mr. Gimpy.
Chipmunk.
Combo Wombo podcast. We're here every Sunday. We out. Like, share, subscribe,
Peace.
baby.
Except last Sunday and the Sunday before that.
Or if I have to take a giant